Taha El-Ghabi and my colleague Badardin El-Batouri. We are delighted to present you our data mining project, which is called Alumni World. So we're gonna start by talking about the project idea. We're gonna move on to the data preparation step, which includes data scrapping and data processing. Then we're gonna move on to the building and deploying of the web application. Then we're gonna finish by a demo in a conclusion. So first of all, where did this project come from? So we thought about the problem that so many people face, and we actually faced when choosing a school. You want to get as many information about the alumni of a particular school, people who have studied there and they are working somewhere else. You want to know which company they went, where they are living, and much more. So you can actually go to the official website of that school and get some numbers, but they are generally questionable, and they don't give you what you really want to know. So what if you can not only get like actual numbers from real people that you are sure about, but also a way to see it in action, to visualize it in a platform that can be accessed everywhere. So that's exactly what we are trying to achieve by this project. So the first step that we had to went through is getting the data, which is data scrapping and data processing. First of all, we wanted to get a data source. We of course found out that LinkedIn is the best place to go, since not only it provides some good information generally about the school, but it also has a alumni section in which you can find all the alumni of a particular school, and then you can go in to each one of these profiles and get information like the name, the headline, the current company, the location, the experiences, and education, much more. So now that we defined our data source, we had to choose the tools that we will use. So we chose Selenium, of course, because it's the best library for automating task and scrapping from website that needs you to interact with it. Because LinkedIn, for example, you have to log in to click on some link to go to the section of alumni and so forth, and you cannot do this with another scrapping libraries. We also used pandas to manipulate our data in the data processing step. We needed the GeoPy. This library is used to turn location string, let's say for example Rabat, Morocco, to longitude and latitude on the world map. So we had to use it to turn it to use it in our map. We also used JSON library because in a website, our web platform, we give it data through a JSON format, not the CSV format that we use for data science. And of course, since LinkedIn is notorious for blocking and preventing people from scrapping, we had to use request library to change the user agent each time, to do a rotating IP address and dynamic proxies. This is the only way you can actually scrap a large amount of data, and even then your account will be blocked and you have to manually create another one and with another phone number. So it's really hard to scrap from LinkedIn, but you can do it intelligently with these techniques, and also respect the maximum time of data retrieval in a day, which is 80. You cannot scrap more than 80 profiles by day. So this is why our project took a very long time to finish. Okay, so now the data that we were able to scrap, we put it in a data frame containing so many columns, like the email, the LinkedIn link, the headline, location, image URL, name, the company, the school, so many information. It was very hard to do, but it was worth it, because we want to go beyond what we can actually have done before. And of course, if some of the information is not available, we can just fill it with none instead. So after getting this much of information, we realized that it's not ethical to put this much of data about people, personal data of people publicly. So we cut it down to ID, company, location. And then we used GeoPy to turn the location into longitude and longitude to use it on the map. So after having this format of data frame, we wanted to get how many people are working in a particular company for a particular location. So we had to group them by latitude, longitude, location, and company, and create another column count that houses the number of people working for a specific company. Afterward, we turn it into a JSON format so we can use it in our web platform easily. So as you can see, this is an example of Gaza location. Alright, so now to the web application, we want to actually build something that looks like this, a map in which there are dots representing alumni of a particular school, and of course the companies that they are working in, and much more. For the technologies we went with, we choose React because we are already comfortable with it. We had to use Leaflet because it's a library that it gives you access to like display maps, and of course, since we want to deploy our platform, we had to choose Heroku for the simplicity and the integration with React. So now, for the web application, it is a simple React application with the usual structure, source folder that contains your scripts and CSS files, public that contains the HTML and the icons and so forth, node modules that contains your node modules, and of course a server is now running locally. We can access it through the browser. But we want much more than that. We want it to be accessed from everywhere, so we had to deploy it. Here is the deploying process, the build finish, and after deploying you get a URL with the name of your application that redirects you to your app on the internet. Okay, moving on to the demo and conclusion. We're gonna start by going over the Jupyter notebook that we used. First, we're gonna import our libraries. What's good about our script is that it's general. You can use it with any school that we want. We're gonna change IMPT for MIT, for example, and script is gonna work just fine. We also used a version in which the WebDriver is defined on the go. You don't have to put it in an exact path or anything. We're gonna get the LinkedIn login page. Our credentials are actually stored in the US environment variable so that we can use our script and publish it on GitHub, no problem. We're gonna log in to LinkedIn, then we're gonna get school name and search for it. We're gonna choose the first result, which is the actual school. Then we're gonna go to alumni section, which is the URL plus people. And now that we are in this section, we're gonna get the people that actually are displayed, which is just 12. But if we want to get more, we will actually scroll down. As you can see here, we want to get the LinkedIn link to each profile so that we can access it later and scrub from it. We're gonna run the script to scroll down. As we will see, LinkedIn sometimes prompts you with this div, show more result, to block you from scrapping, but we envisioned this, and we did a try except block in which we click that div if it is present. Then we will get a list of the URLs of LinkedIn profiles, a big one. We limit it to 50, but we can use as much as we want. Then we're gonna print. We're gonna go to each profile individually and scrap data from it. As we can see, we go person by person and scrap data from the profile. So that's it for the scrapping part. We save then data to a CSV in which we get some columns. This is the basic script that we use, the first one. Okay, now to moving on to the web platform. As we can see, here is our platform hosted. You can access it by scanning the QR code or just going to this link. It is hosted, of course, on Heroku, so you can access it from everywhere. As you can see, here is a map in which there is alumni, INPT alumni specifically across the world. If we like go to a place, click for example here, we can see people from INPT working in Qatar, and for each company how many people are working there. For example, we can see here in Morocco, it's gonna be a very long list containing all the people that our script have scrapped. We can go, for example, to Europe and see how many people are working in Paris. In many places, we can go to Canada and USA and see how many people are working on each place. Peru, for example, South Korea, you know, the whole world where INPT alumni are present, living and working. So yeah, that was basically it for our project. We have learned a lot. We have seen how hard it is to scrap from LinkedIn. We have struggled a lot with it. That was actually the hardest part, is scrapping from LinkedIn. What we want to envision for the future of this project is making this map for multiple schools, as our script is general purpose. You can define school name and scrap from everywhere, and we envision that we will have a toggle in which you select a specific school and you will get the alumni of that school across the world. So yeah, that was it for our project. Thank you so much for this opportunity and for your attention.